Going into 2022, it's interesting to talk about this defensive back group primarily because this is the first time in a while where I'm thinking, okay, maybe the defensive backs are actually the best position group on the defense because of who you have right now. And, in years past, you would be thinking, well, you're hoping that you get a corner that can at least get you 3 interceptions. Now we have a guy that is a ball hawk, and it's awesome to have. Now people are trying to find ways to discredit that, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about if this position group is better than 2021. So without further ado, let's get started. Now before we begin this video, if you could do me a favor and like the video, it helps to perform better in YouTube's algorithm and it's greatly appreciated, so thank you for that. And also subscribe if you're new. If you are not subscribed, which 90% of you guys are, hit the big red button and subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content like this. So, the defensive backs. What have we done this particular offseason to really try to improve the defensive backs? Well, they brought back two notable names in Malik Hooker and Jaron Kearse, who I think were vital for the defense going into 2022 and beyond because of the fact that, look, with a guy like Jaron Kearse, he is that hybrid linebacker slash safety which can aid you on that leadership aspect that isn't something you can measure on the football field, but he is that green dot that we need so that this defense keeps things held together. Also, Malik Hooker is a guy that I really liked coming out of college in the draft class that he came out of, and you could see the talent. Like, it's not a question of the talent. The problem was his health. The reason why in Indianapolis he didn't work out was because he kept getting hurt. Now with him kind of easing himself back into the fold, I think the Cowboys, if Malik Hooker can continue to recover from the injuries and, continue to develop, he can be a really good safety for the Cowboys and maybe the one that we've been looking for a while. And I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro or a pro bowler, but he can definitely be a solid guy for the Cowboys. Now, with that being said, who else did they add to really help this position group? Well, you look at what they did. They brought in Deron Bland inside the draft and a couple of other undrafted rookie free agents. But aside from that, they pretty much added a lot of their guys in the draft last year. Guys like a Kelvin Joseph and a Nashon Wright. And so you're kind of sitting to yourself thinking, did they really improve? Well, it comes down to the growth of the young guys. You look at the starters and you say to yourself, okay, so what are you looking at? And Trevon Diggs is going to be a starter at your quarterback one, and then you have other guys like Anthony Brown who played very well last season. You got to give the guy his props. He played very well, and honestly, I think because of the fact of how the defense performed as a whole, he really improved and his numbers showcased that. You have a guy like Jordan Lewis who has been on the team for quite some time, and you're thinking, okay, can this guy continue to be a relatively productive player, which I think he can. But after that, you're kind of looking at Kelvin Joseph and, hell, even Nashon Wright, because with Anthony Brown in the last year of his contract, odds are he will not be back in Dallas next year unless the Cowboys elect to re-sign him. And you're kind of hoping that Kelvin Joseph can develop, but due to the fact of what happened this offseason, it's kind of like murky waters as of the moment. But so with Nashon Wright, a lot of people, keep looking at him as the guy that we took in the third round, which you could have gotten in the fifth or sixth. So if he can take that next leap, then you probably have that ability to be like, okay, Anthony, we have someone that's better than you, and we can afford to replace you. Let's go get a comp pick as he goes somewhere else. And so that's what I think the Cowboys are banking on. And so I really like what they did here. They have those contingency plans in place. The only thing is you have to hope that they perform well. So even if in the event that Anthony Brown leaves and these other guys don't develop, you can at least go into the 2023 NFL draft and maybe get yourself a corner to go alongside Trevon Diggs. And again, with his contract coming up in the next year, you're probably going to have to pay him sooner rather than later. So hopefully the Cowboys jump on that. When you look at the safety room, you kind of say to yourself, okay, well, is there any room to see improvement? Well, you, like I said, added Malik Hooker back once again, and you're hoping that he can take that next step after kind of easing himself back in, so he's probably going to be your starting free safety. Then you have a guy at strong safety who's going to be Jaron Kearse, obviously. Those are going to be your starting 2 safeties. And then behind them, you do have Donovan Wilson and Israel. And also Marquise Bell, an interesting addition in the undrafted free agency pool, who comes from an area that I actually reside from. And knowing the guy, not personally, but knowing how he's played, he definitely could be someone that can make a push to possibly knock off a guy like a Donovan Wilson if the Cowboys are comfortable with that. You also have Tyler Coyle, who could also make a push for the roster. But again, a lot of the positions here are pretty much solidified. You understand who's going to be your starters and possibly your backups. So there really isn't a need to kind of go into a full-on, like, this is who you have, and maybe you can make pushes here and there. But I think the Cowboys have their defensive back group set as opposed to the other 2 positions that we've talked about already. So that's really good. I think that you look at this group, I would say that you can give it a solid B to B+, and that's basically the whole Trevon Diggs pulling up the grade, but also, like, the guys behind them need to answer the questions of, okay, do we have someone who's going to take the next step and replace a guy like Anthony Brown once he leaves to get younger, and then pair alongside Trevon Diggs for the long term. And then you look at your safeties. This is the first time in a while where I'm not complaining about the safeties. I think you have really good safeties right now. It's just, hey, can Malik Hooker take the next step? And can Jaron Kearse continue to be the guy he was last year? If that's the case, then I think you're fine. You just got to hope that your defensive line and linebackers take care of their thing. So I think that pretty much answers all those questions there. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to leave a like if you've done so, and also subscribe if you are new, and hit that notification bell and comment how you feel down below. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.